Hi, welcome back to my channel. For my 10th video, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm just going to pull 10 random albums and talk about albums by artists that only had one studio album. Not counting an EP as a second release or unreleased material that was later released. Just one studio album and that's it. And obviously live albums won't count. So I'm going to keep this pretty short and sweet and try to get it under 10 minutes. Just a quick video. So starting off the list, number 10. Here's Steeler. I'm sorry for the glare of this damn fluorescent light in my basement. It's hard to get the glare off the surfaces, but Steeler was basically Keel before there was Keel. And it was also, it was Ron Keel as a vocalist, but also first ever appearance by Yngwie Malmsteen in the States. And while this is nothing really spectacular of an album, you can hear the showcase of Yngwie's talents, especially on the song Hot on Your Heels. It has a great instrumental opening that you could tell there was something special with the guitar player. They later dissolved after this, and Keel formed Keel, obviously, and Yngwie went on to do his own thing. So that's Steeler. Next, at number 9, Dirty Rhythm, Hard as a Rock. Now, this is just your standard, typical early 90s hair metal album that never really got a look because hair metal was on the outs at the time, and there were so many bands that sounded like this and had a similar cover, like the blonde woman on the front. But there are some good standout songs. The title track's good. Blinded is good. Hold On Forever Tonight's a good ballad. So, wow, nothing spectacular. I think it's pretty expensive now, but I got this years ago, and I would recommend it if you like that late 80s hard rock metal movement like I did. So coming in at number 8 is one people might know pretty much, The Scream. This is John Corabi's first band before he left, and of course went on to Motley Crue, and they released the infamous self-titled album in '94. I personally like that album. This one's more blues, hard rock oriented. There's even like a couple songs that have a country flavor to them, like country rock. But it's more bluesy, hard rock, sort of like Cinderella type stuff. Once he left, they did another album, but it was never released. I think it was in '93. And I forget the guy's name. It was a no-name singer pretty much, but the album was never released, so I don't count that, so that's why they're on this list. I Believe in Me, I think, was a single, is good. Outlaw is good. Father, Mother, Son's a great ballad. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty damn good album. If you like John Corabi's vocals in Motley Crue, you would like this. So, number 7. Supergroup of sorts, Heavy Bones. I had Frankie Banelli on drums, and the first appearance, I believe, of guitarist, the guitar virtuoso Gary Hoey. It's a really solid hard rock, AOR melodic rock album. 4 AM TM is the single they released. It's on YouTube. The Hand That Feeds It is a great rock song. Turn It On is a great ballad. It's just a lot of good songs. Where the Living Is Easy closes out the album. It's a pretty damn good song too. I would highly recommend it if you're a fan of melodic hard rock, hair metal, or just Quiet Riot type music, because Frankie is in the band, and also the singer is the Cats and Boots singer. So yeah, it's sort of a smaller version of Supergroup. Coming in next is a band. I bought this. Witness. It's like a melodic hard rock band from the late 80s, and it has a woman singer by the name of Debbie Davis. She's a really good singer. It kind of reminds me of sort of like Femme Fatale or Soraya, however you want to pronounce it. Not as good though, because there's no really standout tracks. It's just all pure melodic hard rock, sort of like FM, and like Dare, but with a woman singer. But there are some good songs on here, like the opener, Show Me What You've Got, Let Me Be the One, Jump Into the Fire. It's not bad, but I mean, like I said, I could see why it didn't sell, because there's not really anything new about it that stands out. So, but I would recommend it to anybody who likes artists like those, especially the AOR crowd. They would probably really love this album. So next is one of my favorite one album only releases, Blondes. Now this is another AOR slash hair metal slash hard rock record. Sounds like Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, and you know, mixed together with a bit of like I would say more like White Lion type stuff, like that type of music, all in one. And Nathan Utz actually was in Lynch Mob. They hired him a few years ago, and then I think they brought back Oni Logan. So I don't know if I don't think he's still in the band, but and they never really did any live or any studio albums with him. So, but Miracles is a great song. Hands of Love is a great song, which Ted Poley did on his solo album. I think it was Beyond the Fade. I have it over there. What's on Your Mind's a great ballad. Rainbow is a great ballad. Last Call for Alcohol, I think that was Hardcore Superstar that did that, a cover of that also. So there was 2 covers by bands later on, so you knew there was something special with this band. It's just the wrong time for it to be released in the early 90s. So I would highly recommend getting this album if you like the late 80s hard rock AOR style. Next, at 4, Jagged Edge UK. Even though it says Jagged Edge, it's Jagged Edge UK technically. They're, I think, a Scottish AOR hard rock band, same similar style as the previous 2 I showed. They did have an EP either before or after this, but this was their only studio album. Out in the Cold's a great song. Sweet Lorraine's good. Fuel for Your Soul, the title track's really good. Like I said, just pure hard rock, melodic rock that would fit any mid to late 80s sound. It's just because it never sold, because AOR, outside of Journey and like Foreigner and all the arena hard rock AOR sound, a lot of bands went under the radar, and this was one of them. But I would highly recommend checking it out. Coming in at 3, I just recently got this. I thought it looked like a thrash metal record, but it's actually more of a new wave of British heavy metal sound. Cerebus, Too Late to Pray. And there's nothing like spectacular here. It's also pretty average, but it's not bad either. It's a good album just to put on in the background if you want to hear some good metal from the mid 80s. Taking Your Chances, I really like that song. And the last song, Longing for Home, is like a ballad, but it's a really powerful song, sort of like a slow, brooding, like Dio type-ish song. Yeah, I would, if you can find this cheap, I'd pick it up. It's nothing like groundbreaking, but why not look into it if you like that type of music. And the last 2 I saved for last because they're more of the 2 most famous ones right now in this group, and that is Mother Love Bone. I don't like grunge, and except for Alice in Chains, because there are a lot of metal music involved in it. And same way with this band, there's a lot of hard rock in their only album, because Andrew Wood, the singer, overdosed right after this album came out. And 2 of the members, I think, went on to form Pearl Jam. But I mean, you can hear the grunge in parts of this album, but a lot of it like is hard rock influenced also. So it's like Guns N' Roses meets grunge, kind of. Like This Is Shangri-La, great song. Come Bite the Apples, good song. What else do I like on here? Stargazer is a good ballad. So it's a little different from the rest of these albums I listed, because they're more hair metal AOR, but I thought I would mention this because it does have that AOR, or not the AOR, but it has like the sleazy hard rock sound to it, and I kind of like it. And coming in last, I'm going to do, of course, the Heaven and Hell album. I consider it more of a Black Sabbath record because it's the same lineup with the Mob Rules and Dehumanizer. And they were going to call it Black Sabbath, but Ozzy was touring with Zakk Wylde and Black Sabbath at that time, so they called it Heaven and Hell. And this is unfortunately Dio's last studio release, and it's really good. It really don't need to be talked about as much, but you know, like Bible Black was a singles, great song. Adam and Evil's great song. Turn of the Screw, Eating the Cannibals, just overall great. So I wanted to save that for last, just because it's the legendary band. And show you these vinyl, yellow, pretty fucking sweet vinyl. The other one's red. So as always, I just wanted to show them off, and wanted to thank you for watching. And I'll have another video of this, because I have a lot more albums by bands with one album. So I hope you subscribe, and I'll put a link to another video of mine so you can check out other videos I made of ranking videos and such. So rock on, and as always, see you later.